Well, I want to do more of these. I really do. I should be doing them with more frequency. So, I went and watched. This title is fucking stupid. Do You Like Your Mom? Her normal attack is 2 attacks at full power, Okaasan Online, or Jesus Christ. Sujo Gokeki Gasenta Gokeki Di Nikai no Geki no Okasan Wasuki Desuka. Also known as the isekai anime where your mom is stupidly OP. As you should be able to tell from the fact the title is 20 syllables long and is a direct description of the premise, it's a comedy isekai anime. You know, like Konosuba, or I don't know of any other comedy isekai anime. And honestly, the normal title works, but I'm never saying that again out loud. If it sounds like I got it right in one take and not the one I used in that sentence, I likely did. So, premise. Masato is a mostly normal high school boy with a mom that's a bit nosy and overprotective. After being an idiot on a survey, he gets whisked away to a video game where he can finally be the fantasy hero he's always fantasized about. The big catch is the adventures for both of them. They are both beta testers in this MMORPG. Yes, there's a plot reason why there's that many M's. So now it's up to Masato and his mom Mamako to become the heroes of this video game and eventually make it back home, if they want to. Which brings us to the side characters. Yes, I'm covering them first because although it's Masato and Mamako's journey, they don't have problems that are plot relevant, whereas 2 of the other 3 members of her party do. Firstly, there's Portia. She is amazing and cute and precious and probably like 9, so don't try and draw her in terrible places, DeviantArt. She rolled as a non-combat class, and as her signer bonus, got a bag that can hold 300 items at a time that magically perfects the item from time damage. Very nice. Alright, slant-on bonuses. Masato gets the sword Filamento, which specializes in slaying aerial foes, and Mamako gets 2 swords, Artura and Terra de Merde, which, as well as being aligned to water and earth respectively, grant her the ability to deal massive amounts of earth and water damage to groups of energies as a basic attack. These sign-on bonuses are insane, and it quickly becomes a recurring joke and problem for the teens in these shows. We'll come back to that. Where were we? Alright, side characters. Next up is Wisei. She is a tsundere. That's almost her entire character from her interactions with the rest of the main cast. Although going through her story arc gets a very nice trip right until the finale, and we will get to that. She is mostly a mage, specking the fire and death spells specifically. She's a red mage, as she gets to chain cast spells of both white and black magic. She's been in the game a bit longer than Masato and Mamako, and knows what the win con of the game actually is, and how to get home. The reason she's not done with it herself ties into her story arc. And finally, to round out our party is Medi. She is a healer class, although given the extent of her powers, very clearly she's what WoW players might call a shadow priest, or rather in D&D terms, a specialty cleric. She's also the sadist of the party, which is a good joke that the anime decides not to have enough time to flesh out. She's also very vicious with her witted observations, which ties into her story arc as well. More on that much later on. So I guess we move on to the art? Yeah, it's fine. When it decides to actually have gravitas and spectacle, it can, but it only has that for very few scenes. It's not bad usually, and the visual comedy is played pretty well throughout. No real complaints or compliments here. Or in the OCT and sound design in general. I will give props to the sound planners to know that quiet moments are needed for the bigger plot points at home, and they know what and how much to cut and let linger a moment usually. So, now we get to the real meat of the reason why I wanted to make a video on this. The writing. On the whole, the writing is actually solid. For a comedy, I think most of the jokes and tropes it plays with hit home more often than not, and are quite enjoyable. However, god damn, these relationships should not be saved. Let's start with the smaller issues and work our way down. Firstly, I want to bring up that Medi is barely even in the show. Seriously, we spent so much time on the intro and Lisa's story that the show was half over before we were even properly introduced to Medi, and even then, we go through her entire story before she actually joins the party proper. Medi's entire character is dependent on her story and by extension her mom, who, I kid you not, is named Medi Mama. No joke, her name is just Medi's mom, and it's for a plot reason. See, Medi Mama is the Tiger Mom stereotype. It gets waved off at the end of Medi's story that she's being pushed into being more of a Tiger Mom than she normally would be, but from what little we see of their past, not by much. My issue with this story is not really how it plays out, because again, the writing is actually good. My issue lies in the ending. Medi and Medi Mama have a come-to-Jesus moment after Mamako questions Medi Mama about why she's been driving her daughter to such extremes, and when Medi Mama claims it's all for her own benefit, Medi finally snaps. She's been showing cracks of it slowly through the story, but that finally breaks her, and she morphs into a dark elemental greater dragon in order to attack and render Mother to pieces. And I'm all in on Medi's side for that. Throughout the story, Medi Mama has been a controlling, abusive, and deaf mother to any and all of Medi's actual wants and needs, using her as a prop to show off just how much of an amazing mother she is by getting her daughter so many achievements. But it's all a scam. Medi Mama's sign-on bonus was a staff that allows her to cast spells without chanting, out of combat and on both players and NPCs. An amazing steroid at the cost of accentuating her Tigermon traits onto Medi. It's so overpowered, Medi hasn't actually been in combat since they arrived. Medi also got a powerful staff, but anywhere near as broken. Hers lets her become said Greater Darkness Dragon by pouring her soul into it, I think. One of the smaller complaints about the show is that the sign-on bonuses for the teens is never fully explored aside from Portia's, and hers is explored because she doesn't get a mom story arc. So our heroes battled to restore Medi back to her usual self while Mamako and Medi Mama square off. And almost no fighting actually happens. Mamako points out that being a Tigermon on teenagers is actually a terrible thing, since they never get to decide for themselves what they want to do with their lives that way. Something that most parents here in the western half of the world know and hate admitting. And since Mamako is greatest mom ever TM, hammering that point home is enough to break Medi Mama out of her Tiger Mom form and allows her to apologize and rescue Medi from herself. And then we get told that the real reason that Medi Mama said what she did was because of the black diamond on the staff that Masato took out when he attacked Medi with Firmament. Now, I repeat myself a lot, but still, the writing leading up to this moment has been good, great at parts even, but this resolution... Fuck no. We spent 3.5 episodes with you being an abusive shit stain on your daughter, and now because the MacGuffin pushing you further down that path has gone, we're supposed to immediately forgive you and let you and Medi pretend to make up? Fuck no. I understand that it's an anime that wants to have a happy ending for its cast, but fuck that. Medi Mama is not a person who deserves to have this relationship saved. She didn't start being a Tigermon after she got the Black Diamond. We know that she's been leaning into being a Tigermon since Medi was at least in the first grade. Medi has no social life or social skills of her own, and you caused that damage, not some mental steroid of a virtual goddamn gemstone. And then we move on to Portia. This section is shorter because she has no story. It's very clear she's supposed to have a mom tied to her waist just like the other three, since such a powerful bag item and her crafting steroids are nuts, but she doesn't get one. Nope. She's here to be perfectly OP and adorable and make the joke that we get silence every other episode, and that MP pots are effectively booze. She does these jokes well, but I really feel cheated out on her story, since both Wisei and Medi get full arcs devoted to theirs. And then, well, going for the least problematic up, it would be Masato's turn. Now, to be fair, the show is clearly written in mind to have his relationship with Mamako improve over the long haul. I can't say her name for some reason. But goddamn, the first 5 episodes with him have moments where I just want to break both of his arms and throw him into a river. Your mom is fucking amazing, and you have no idea just how much. She has very little idea what's going on, as established by the first event of episode 1, where she has to be briefed on what an account is. But not only does she not let that get her down, she actively tries to improve by reading the fucking guidebook. I don't see you reading the guidebook to find out stuff about a game you have almost no knowledge of, Masato. And I get being frustrated because he wanted to be a hero. Tough shit. Your mom is now the second most powerful player in the game, so teach her what that means. Masato never tries to explain to his awesome mom just how powerful she actually is. Not only that, he's always been moaning how he's not really important in combat. Hey, have you tried asking her to step back a bit? Wisei did, got told no, and Medi wasn't allowed to, but you sure as fuck are and just refused to do it. Hell, one of the brightest emotional moments for Mamako is when she exclaims genuine happiness that Masato is actually talking to her like a normal person. And that's so late into the show, I thought we'd gotten past that hurdle. But no, Masato talks about getting better, but only gets better at all immediately after being a river corpse. I do like that he knows when he's being an asshole for no reason, though. It allows me to have hope that he can get better, and this trip won't have been a total waste of Mamako's time, since that's all she really wants. A real relationship with her son, for him to treat her like a person instead of just an annoying hang-on that he constantly has to deal with. I'm glad he doesn't want to fuck her, although that is a trope they play with once early on just to establish that it's something neither of them want. Okay, now for the big one. I almost gave up on the show because of this. Wisei's relationship with her parent. No, significant? No, even that is too kind. Is egg donor a word I'm allowed to use? Probably not. Yeah, Wisei's mom. Firstly, Wisei's mom... Oh, do I need to go watch it again for her name? No, wait, it's Cosmo. Okay, I think. Anyway, Lisa's mom is a total bitch. She's mostly a deadbeat who can't handle her own money well and drove her family apart by going to host clubs too much. So when Lisa's dad divorced her, like a responsible parent, Lisa moved in with him. And then keys for this MMO were floating around, and it claimed that it would help build a relationship between mother and child. So she forces Lisa into the game world with her, and Cosmo's sign-on bonus was a spell tome with all the max level black magic spells in it. And a month or so into game time, she got a hacker cube, later revealed to be the Black Diamond, which allowed her to do literally anything she wanted. So what did Lisa's mom start doing? Going to host clubs and recoding NPCs to be her literal furniture slaves. Oh yeah, Cosmo is a kinky bitch. I'm not here to kink shame Cosmo. I've got a friend who redacted, but that's beside the point. The week Cosmo figured out what this power allowed her to do, Weisei gives up trying to play the game with her because there's nothing for her to do in it, and they already aren't really playing the game together. They both rode Sage/Red Mage, but Cosmo's spellbook one-shots entire groups of enemies, so Weisei doesn't get to do anything. And that is how Weisei knows what the win con is. She got told what it was by Cosmo, and realized she didn't want to fix things up with her mom, and bailed. Now again, the writing here for the most part is actually fine. Cosmo getting a hacker cube, widening the rift between Weisei and herself, and going off the deep end to where she's an actual threat to the game world, all good stuff. Then we get to the ending, and it all falls apart. See, the hacker cube she got allows her to patch up bugs in the game, and it's effectively a wishing stone. So many MacGuffin names. So when Masato and his party show up to battle and try to return Cosmo back to her less bitchy self, they're boned. They lose in pretty much the second round, but of course Mamako is so OP that she unloses them and goes for a greatest mom ever TM speech at Kazano, and I don't even remember what the point of it is. Like, the prep talk before is all about how Cosmo actually does care for Weisei, despite naming her after a host and never trying to spend decent time with her. But as we see, no, Cosmo doesn't give a shit about Weisei. As far as I can tell, Mamako wins the fight through another busted mom skill, Cosmo loses the Black Diamond/Hacker's Cube, and then Weisei and Cosmo go back to fighting, and we're supposed to believe that that's what they look like when they love each other. Fuck this storyline. Specifically, fuck this ending. The anime claims that Weisei can log out now, and since Cosmo's gone, we're supposed to believe it. But we're also supposed to believe she's sticking around because she's soon to race for Masato. And even then, no, I can't buy it. I won't buy it. Cosmo and Weisei didn't make up. Neither of them wanted to. Weisei tries and cries and says she wants her mom, but it's very clearly that she wants a real mom, not Cosmo. Honestly, I like this anime. Quite a bit even, but the portrayal of these relationships and the everything is okay endings is something I am personally against. If you like comedy takes on isekai, go for it. The final arc continues with the anime's strong points with its jokes and subversion and somewhat fleshed out setting. But if you need great writing to sustain you through yet another isekai, you can find better options elsewhere. I hear Shield Hero is really good. This is Gerdat14 signing out. Be safe, everybody.